From above, Thibaut Courtois out the tunnel, and looks as though it's going to be the same 11 to start the second half for the, what did you call them, champions-elect?
I do, and that's my position.
There's no question, Graham, that they're the form side right now in Laliga Santander. Since the restart, they've looked absolutely perfectly oiled, haven't they?
I think the parts of their team that weren't functioning have benefited from the unwanted and deeply unpleasant break that we've all had to suffer. I think now that there are 5 substitutes allowed, okay, and 3 breaks in play, Real Madrid are the #1 side in Spain that can benefit from it. I would point out that it's remarkable that a club like Villarreal are, until now, matching them just about pace for pace with victories and then the 2-2 draw. Should this finish a draw tonight, Barcelona will be celebrating. Villarreal will say, well, our record is as good as you. But I think they are the form side. I think they look refreshed. I think they are given wings by their belief that they can win the title. That's still up for grabs. It may well be Barca's to retain, but I think that they are being well coached. Their squad is being well used, and I think that they have the greater degree of class than almost any side in Europe playing for Zidane right now.
As for Mallorca, I have to say I've been impressed by their attitude in the first half. Outclassed in almost every department, but very willing to get on the front foot when they can. And as Febas goes down, challenged or caught by Luka Modric. Doesn't seem too happy with the decision.
I think they have a philosophy of play,
card which will miss Real Madrid's next game.
With Casemiro to come back from suspension, and that may be something that Modric been giving a match break. Anyway, tonight it's been Kroos, age 30, who's been benched. It's
Real
been
Madrid's next game, Graham, is of course away to Espanyol, another potential relegation candidate.
And Modric and Valverde have been teamed up to replace the effect of the missing Casemiro, and it's worked.
Rodriguez swings it in, and some work there for Thibaut Courtois. Warning sign for Real Madrid that they can't rest on their laurels here. Budimir trying to press Ramos. Problems for Mendy. Valverde is so often.
What a ball. What a ball, Simon.
Plays them out of trouble. Great ball for Vinicius, who miscues. Poor control.
It's awful.
A wasted opportunity, because with all the talk of Vinicius, with all the talk of Hazard, has been absolutely crucial this season.
They were playing pit-a-pat from me to you, with Ramos giving a ball to Mendy that he didn't like when it could have gone to Ramos's right. So when they win it, and Valverde, in one smooth movement, releases a pass down the wing that leaves Mallorca stranded and Vinicius on the run, it was an absolutely beautiful Uruguayan who's just committed a foul, and what Vinicius uses, he kind of stubs his right foot onto a ball that should have been controlled on his left. He's raw, he has things to learn, but Valverde's ball, if he repeats it, will normally end with Vinicius creating a chance.
It's a throw in which Mendy will take. Vinicius back to Ramos. Picks out Dani Carvajal. Carvajal down the line looking for Gareth Bale, who acknowledges the idea, if not the execution. Throw to Mallorca, trailing 1-0 to Real Madrid. If the scoreline stays the same, Madrid go back top of the league. Lago, Junior Lago, battling with Gareth Bale, and does well. Sedlar with the clearance, sent back. Benzema wins it, finds Bale. Bale quickly finds Modric. There's an understanding between those two, and has been for years. Good steal from Rodriguez. Neat ball out to Budimir. Ramos goes in with everything he's got.
Yeah, referee, well done. Yeah.
And Ramos should not complain.
Yeah, he called that right. You could see the referee taking 2 beats to think, saying, is that like Carvajal's challenge in midfield? And it's not. It's a patent foul. Ramos needs to be extremely careful.
And there again, the gesture we see so often, Ramos committing a firm physical challenge and then immediately waving his rival up. Didn't work for him that time. Sent down the line towards Pozo. One of the first times Pozo's actually got up front in the game. Ramos with the clearance, but it will be a corner for Mallorca, who started sharply.
He damaged, Real Madrid's captain damaged his knee in Real Arena. It was a pinched nerve. It got sorted out, but I wonder if it's an opportunity for Zidane to say to Militao, your night, give Ramos some time to breathe.
Takecubo with the corner, not his greatest.
And you can think about avoiding a yellow card. Now, that's something we wouldn't ordinarily say looking, but he is the most sent-off player in the history of Real Madrid, in the history of La Liga. That was a foul, that brought him very low point in avoiding that idea.
Modric back to Thibaut Courtois. Ramos. Modric again. Quite enjoying this slightly deeper role tonight. I get the impression Luka Modric, he finds Mendy, now Vinicius, inside to Hazard. Carvajal, Bale outside him. Bale cutting inside, finds Hazard again. Carvajal, Bale. Picks out Vinicius Jr. Goes inside Pozo. Pozo with the challenge. That's better. Takecubo wins the loose ball. Tries to get away from Vinicius. There's one for Pozo to chase. He won't beat Rafa Varane. Perfect positioning from the French centre-back. Courtois with a high clearance. Nodded back by Valiente. Modric collects. Finds Vinicius. Oh, lovely turn from Vinicius Jr. Good ball inside to Benzema. Benzema hits it too close to the keeper Manolo Reina. Magic from Vinicius Jr. there.
How much did you enjoy that? Just as a neutral, Simon.
Absolutely beautiful.
Fluid, creative.
Tiny step over and turn, and you gain 5 yards on your defender.
And he wins the race. He feeds Benzema well. It's a shot on target, not difficult for Reina. But, you know, we're preaching to a world audience, not to Mallorca or Real Madrid fans. That's glossy, beautiful Rolls-Royce football.
Takecubo. Budimir, good reception from him as well as he turns, tries to get around Rafa Varane, but that's easier said than done.
One of the things you pointed out, but here we go again. Dummy, can you catch me? I can look up. That's the thing. Beyond the finishing, people often say, well, what does he do with the ball? And that's where I felt I was arguing into a wind into my face. And I was right, that his intelligence about what to do with the ball increased far more quickly than his finishing power.
And Madrid starting to move up that gear, I think. That was lovely from Hazard. He gets the ball back from Benzema. He's got Fede Valverde outside him, still Hazard. And it'll be a goal kick, and Hazard's disappointed with himself there. Toni Kroos warming up for Real Madrid. Zidane looking on. Salva Sevilla amongst the subs warming up for Mallorca.
Scored on that magical night when a 2-0 deficit became a 3-2 win to bring them up to this division.
We also saw Cucho Hernandez amongst the 3 Mallorca players preparing to be available for Moreno if he wants them. Here's Fede Valverde, play waved on brilliantly by Melero. Leaves it for Bale. Bale gets it onto the left foot. And you get the impression Valiente will feel that one.
But kudos also, okay, so kudos to the referee, because the Belgian, who's in pain, he's hobbling and has injuries all season, to be that brave. Okay, do I automatically protect Hazard there, or do I let play flow? Play flowing is what the rule book says. It gives the team on the ball the foul, if you like, will use the space when your man who's fouled, our man is out of play. But Hazard felt that badly, and I think on balance Melero Lopez has made a decision for the benefit of this match and in the spirit of the laws.
Modric with the resulting corner. Plays it back to Carvajal, whose control wasn't perfect. It might fall for Mendy, nods it into the area. Valiente heads out. And it's a free kick in favour of Real Madrid, in a very dangerous position indeed. I think the gesture from Mallorca is an elbow. Handball, perhaps, Graham.
I say that. It's a tough life being a referee, isn't it? You've got to get it all right, and we get to look over every action with a magnifying glass and say, we agree, we disagree. Who'd be a ref?
Well, various options here from this free kick. It's very central, good distance. And well, Ramos has got that look in his eye. Benzema's there too, Modric and Bale. I'm sure Gareth Bale would fancy his chances here. Will he be allowed to have a go? Bale, it seems, has marked out his run-up, but it's Ramos, I think, who's going to take it. And look at Gareth Bale. You can't argue with the hierarchy, but I'm sure Gareth Bale feels that it should be him to take it. Ramos with a little nod. Bale looking almost nonplussed. It's Ramos. Whoa!
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
And he's absolutely right to do it. Sergio Ramos. What an unstoppable free kick. Gareth Bale forced to recognise that. I'm sure, as I said, he would have loved to take it, but there's no arguing with Sergio Ramos in that mood. No, this is mine. I'm going to take it. I'm the captain. Argue with that. Bang into the back of the net.
Do you know, his record is exceptional because he neither took free kicks nor penalties habitually while he was competing with footballers either that dominated these positions, namely Cristiano Ronaldo being number one. But as soon as he took penalties, his record became utterly elite. His percentage finishing out in the penalty spot is higher than Cristiano Ronaldo, higher than Leo Messi. His free kick ability is something that I've only had the benefit of seeing in private, watching Spain's training. And I was speaking to Luis Enrique, the Spain coach, just a month or so before could he play centre forward? He said he could play anywhere on the pitch he wants. Because he is so physical, athletic, because he plays from the back, people aren't aware about what an exceptionally technical footballer Sergio Ramos is, and I think we've seen evidence there.
It's also true, Graham, that the self-confidence that can almost slip over into becoming arrogance is such a crucial facet to have of your character, isn't it? And Ramos just wills himself into assuming responsibilities that maybe initially he wasn't supposed to take.
Well, look at that.
Just says, how can you argue with that? That's an absolutely perfect free kick.
Look at that phrase you've used to describe him. Who's he overtaken as the all-time leading scoring defender in Laliga? Fernando Hierro and Koeman, both of whom fit exactly into the pyjamas you've described there. A sense of arrogance that isn't quite too much, but takes you above your ordinary man.
2-0 to Real Madrid, the man on the ball, the scorer of Madrid's second, with an astonishingly taken free kick. Poor Manolo Reina didn't even take a step towards it. Rodriguez. Now Rayo leaves it for Sedlar. Rayo again. Junior Lago gets away from Carvajal brilliantly, gets the cross in two, and the header from Budimir to centred. Comfortable for, again, a reminder that this Mallorca side going forward have something which other candidates for the don't have. And if they could sort the defending out, possibly a little bit late now. As I said, they have the worst defence in La Liga and they don't travel well. But they're still coming forward, still taking the game to Madrid, still looking to get back into it. There's no change, no immediate change in the game plan, despite the fact that they're now 2-0 down. Good interception from Ramos. It's collected by Fede Valverde. Pozo gets there ahead of Vinicius. Rodriguez picks out Junior Lago. It's inside Gareth Bale. Bale with a sliding challenge, clears only as far as Sedlar. Now Take Kubo. Talking about confident players, here's another one. First time from Rodriguez back to Kubo. He's got Junior Lago outside him, prefers to use Danny Rodriguez. Now it's Lago. In comes the cross. Mendy forced to head clear. Vinicius Junior. They're making Madrid think, and I'm impressed. Valverde showing determination. Baba won it though, and it's another shot from Ante Budimir. Once again, it's close to Courtois. It's not that often you see the ball taken off the toes of Fede Valverde this season. As Vicente Moreno prepares changes.
Three of them, Fran, Cucho and Salva.
Salva, Sevilla, first on. As Valiente is taken off. Gomez and Cucho Hernandez there.
Febas and Budimir being the other two to depart. Largely, I think as you were predicting, Budimir, given that he's carried threat, I'm a little bit surprised about. Hazard, this can be viewed as protective. Hazard, after missing the game in the Real Arena, also missed training at the beginning of this week. Zidane made it absolutely clear that he didn't have a worry about Hazard. He wanted to protect him, make him ready for tonight. We've seen that his impact has been more than sufficient for a man who's been injury-plagued throughout the season. His players trust him. He opens things up. Now, your question would be, with three men in midfield, Valverde, Kroos and Modric, will we see a Madrid that tries to contain a little bit? Or will they use that a little bit more to release Bale and Vinicius in a 4-3-3 and look for the third goal? Let's see what Zidane is trying to achieve.
It's collected by Baba. Lays it off to Take Kubo. It's a good run from Pozo. Vinicius with the interception. Kubo insisting. Lovely little turn. Great footwork as well. Gets away from Mendy and puts the ball into the side netting.
Kid special. Oof.
No question.
Imagine you're Florentino Perez, who de facto is director of football. One, you look at this kid and you say, he's quick, he's skillful, he's confident, the fans will love him. There's a package. Secondly, from Japan, and you're a top-class footballer, the media attention, the marketing potential is absolutely gigantic. And the third one, Simon, does Florentino Perez, and I admire him for this, like a little bit of salt in the wound of Barcelona, who had this kid and let him get away? I think he does. Take Kubo will, in my prediction, go back to Real Madrid sooner than Reguilón, sooner than Odegaard. The kid is special.
It's Toni Kroos for Madrid. Pozo. Very firm challenge indeed on Vinicius Junior. Vicente Moreno, who was very close, felt that challenge as we watch the brilliance of Sergio Ramos again. Danny Rodriguez has gone back to cover just that post, but nothing he could do. That's placement rather than brute force, isn't it?
That's also a really rim of David Beckham. The left foot planted, the bent ankle, and the way in which the right foot comes through, not wide, but sweeping in a way that gives him close contact to bring the ball from right to left.
Toni Kroos gets the ball back from Benzema, to whom he returns it. Mendy back to Kroos, Valverde. Now Ramos. Mendy plays himself into trouble.
No, referee. No, that's a mistake. You pointed out perfectly that Mendy was in trouble. He goes down very easily, hoping that he'll get that decision. He's got a little bit of fortune there.
It's a chase for Carvajal, which he's not going to win. Goal kick to Mallorca. 20 minutes already, 19 since the restart. Zidane will be happy.
He will, but the players,
rightly so.
The players on the pitch right now need to know that man we looked at, Zizou and David Bertoni, will be thinking, do we let things settle, do we play things out, or do we let the challengers on the bench have time? And therefore those on the field now need to be carrying the performance, looking for more goals, or they'll be replaced. There's a huge fight for places in Real Madrid right now.
Pozo on the ball for Mallorca, gets the cross in, just over hits it. Junior Lago keeps the ball in play. Sevilla finds Rodriguez. It's Pozo's.
Look at him. Give me it back. Give me it back now. Give me it back.
Here's Takekubo again.
Man.
Loses out in the end to Fede Valverde. Mendy. Vinicius. Back to Valverde. Now Rafa Varane. Modric. Ramos. Cruz to Varane. Ramos again. Patient from Real Madrid, Toni Kroos. Under pressure from Rodriguez. Picks out Varane again. Madrid are happy with this. Kroos. Vinicius Jr. dispossessed by Takekubo. He wins it back though, showing tremendous determination. Just overcooks the pass to Mendy.
There was a little, that wasn't just this game. That microscopic moment was Vinicius aware, you want to come and take my place, kid? Okay, you have it off me now. I've muscled you. I've gone away. We'll see battles like that in the training ground in years to come, with the two of them competing for a similar position in the team, irrespective of whether it's coached by Zidane or not. They're the future.
Well, with the substitution, Mallorca have gone to 4 at the back. See how that affects the rest of the game, but certainly Madrid cruising at the moment as Moreno prepares another change. Salibur. Preparing another attacking substitution, Moreno. Salva Sevilla. Junior Lago gets the cross in, dealt with by Courtois. It's Gomez who'd made the run to the near post. Rafa Varane. Back to Ramos. Carvajal nodding it down to Bale, who miscontrols the loose ball collected by Salva Sevilla. Under pressure from Toni Kroos. Sedlar turning back to the keeper, but forced to clear quickly and put the ball directly into touch. Good work from Vinicius Jr.
And I think we're about to see a little bit more of one of the stories of the season. I think we're about to see more of Asensio. And for those of us who'd like to see the real Gareth Bale, for those of us who'd like to see him getting more game time, more opportunities, his touch tonight, his effort has been similar to James, evidence of how long he's been out, as we see that it's not simply the Mallorquin who's coming on against his hometown club, but also the Malagueño, Isco. Gareth Bale, without being critical of him, has looked like a guy who's been out for a long time and doesn't feel trusted.
Valverde gets a touch ahead of Cucho, turns it back to Ramos, who squares it to Rafa Varane. Second set of changes about to be made. Referee looks over. Oh, I think Gareth Bale knows it might be him. Lago Jr., the man replaced. Decent performance from him, not quite as spectacular as in the home leg of the tie. Luka Modric being given a rest, picked up that yellow card.
You know, at 35 in September and having played so many minutes this season, that'll take him up to about 1,700 league minutes alone, touching 35 and deeply influential tonight, not simply for the lovely assist for the first goal, but as you pointed out really early on, happy to drop back into that libero role in front of the defence, move the ball, control the tempo, extremely influential display. And I think Gareth Bale is entirely entitled to mutter away to himself, in English or Welsh, I don't know, coming off the pitch, but he doesn't portray as a guy who feels justly done by.
Well, acknowledgements from Zinedine Zidane to Gareth Bale and vice versa. Isco and Asensio on the pitch. Here's Pozo for Mallorca. Seeing Salabur, who's only played about 50 minutes since coming to Mallorca from Saint Etienne. Here's his first touch in the area, drives it in across the face of the goal. Cucho wasn't too far behind.
He lofted it nicely, didn't he? I'm not entirely sure whether he went like, I'll put it in a zone who gets there, but the loft on it leaves 6'4" Courtois unable to come for it. It's not the worst effort. It leads to nothing, but let's see if he brings more threat for Vicente Moreno, just helping Cucho into the net.
Here is Ramos. We're inside the last 20 minutes. 2-0 to Real Madrid. Mendy on the ball. Sends it over the top for Vinicius to chase. Pozo. Baba. Rayo. Games down the line. Hernandez. Pozo. To admire their insistence. Taki Kubo with Cucho Hernandez. Pozo.
Yeah, we can't take sides, but a team playing this brand of football will always be welcome in La Liga, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have the work cut out to remain in La Liga, very much embroiled in that relegation battle. We'll have easier fixtures than this one, Graham.
If you look at some of the competition, we'll just pick on one. Javier Aguirre has made an enormous difference to Lega, but Lega's ability to score, their ability to convert chances, missed penalty and the other night, separates them out from Mallorca. This side came a threat. They play with brilliant confidence. Still, at this moment, you'd say Mallorca aren't just arithmetically in the fight to survive. They seem to play as if they believe that they can and will. That's healthy.
They play Athletic Club next in San Mamés, and then they're at home to Celta Vigo, which will be an absolutely huge game.
And extremely attractive, because the brand of football that Vicente Moreno has got this side playing is not totally dissimilar to what Oscar is gradually teaching his players in Vigo to produce.
Asensio. Caught by Cucho. Isco. Space for Isco to turn and take his decision. He floats one over the top to Carvajal, who failed to control, so too did Games. But in the end, it's Rayo who plays the ball out. Control from Salibur. And showing good strength there as well. Firm challenge from Isco. Salabou quick to get back to his feet in the end. The referee realises there's no advantage to be played. Free kick to Mallorca. Salva Sevilla. Not the best ball, looking for Games on the overlap. It's a goal kick to Real Madrid. Just over a quarter of an hour to go, and Marcelo is making his way back to the seats where the rest of the matchday squad are observing the game. It's a cooling break. Graham, what's your summing up of the opening half hour of the second half?
You talked about the way in which Madrid can feel themselves, it's not prejudiced against, but in a difficult situation, and played after, consistently playing after the #1 challengers to the title. But when you have the opportunity, as now, to go top again on the head-to-head rule for the moment, and you're playing a side that you know will come and compete with you and contest the football game, not just physicality or position or trying to suffocate you and get 10 men behind the ball, this is the way to win a match. Real Madrid, to my eyes, have looked fluid, dangerous, quick, sharp mentally. They've scored 2 exceptional goals, created a couple of chances more, and when Mallorca have cut them open, they've been quick to the... Courtois has been impeccable tonight. One world-class save to go with the world-class save he produced the last time they were in the stadium against Valencia from Rodrigo. That in even terms, or you can be preventing the other side from getting a goal back and giving you a fright, and then your captain produces this. I think that, albeit that against potential relegation candidates, neutrals around the world might have been saying, leave your beard alone, score more goals, give us more fantasy. This is ruthless, this is professional, and this is the type of display that Zidane would have asked them to produce during this early stage of the season, and then slip. This is ruthless, and from my eyes, it's been full of skill, full of panache, full of enjoyment.
And also, to a certain extent, they're cruising.
I guess that's one of the things.
You're playing every 3 days. Yeah. You can't go flat out.
Physically, of course you can't.
90 minutes.
No, I agree. And I guess that's where it's a finite choice about, do you want them to smash teams and then find out in 3-4 games time, when it's just as crucial, and Barcelona haven't dropped a stitch, that you're a little bit short on energy or stamina or athleticism. You make your point, but when you cruise, sometimes it's like everybody agrees and the manager says this is fine, but sometimes the manager says I want more, and they slip into a gear that's one below where they should be. I'm with you tonight, fine, but that phrase you've used is a threat. Absolutely.
And a risk as Varane looks to link with Vinicius Jr. Applauded by Zinedine Zidane. On his greatest ever pass, overcooked it, throw into Mallorca, which Pozo prepares to take. Cucho collected and superbly spread out by Dani Rodriguez. They return for Takekubo. Salabou with good movement in the area. His Games, and it's poor. And it's a handball.
And the injustice of the situation is all right. Benzema La Real Arena, and that is a proper handball. Football's with underneath the shoulder control.
But again,
Benzema was allowed to
it was a smooth, brisk transition into attack. Spraying the ball wide to the right, pushing it back to the left, getting plenty of shirts into the Madrid box. And certainly going forward, they do not look like a relegation side.
I think they're a squad that has been extremely well coached. They all know exactly where they should be, how quickly they should pass. There are a number of passes that go 1 touch, 2 touch, and that makes every team that can produce it sprightly and hard to defend against.
Lovely ball from Vinicius. Picks out Mendy. Vinicius has gone down. Play on Mendy with a cross across the face of the goal. Asensio keeps the ball in play, looks up, picks out Isco. Oh, lovely return ball from Isco. Asensio will be disappointed with his first touch, but Fancy being able to bring those two off the bench. Quality in depth in this Real Madrid squad.
I thought Dani Rodriguez diced with danger there, because although I'd imagine Malero Lopez would be quite pleased to get out of here without a red card, Dani Rodriguez definitely committed a bookable challenge off the ball, and Vinicius there, that one picked up where the ex-Lyon defender took a little chunk cut.
And Mendy misses the next game.
Suspended now. That's a misjudgment. That
Sedlar square to Raillo. Baba. Stretch for Rodriguez. It's collected by Vinicius. He's got Benzema. Isco sprinting down. Asensio outside. Now Asensio. He looks up. Cuts it back to Isco. Baba with the intercept. Vinicius wins it back. Lovely ball from Valverde. Cruz in. And Isco just failing to keep his balance.
and rescued by the flag. That's one of those occasions when you're a little bit short of match practice, you tumble over your own feet and you, oh, well, listen, lads, don't worry, the flag was up anyway.
Baba. Tremendous composure on the ball there, picks out Potho. There's the return from Takikubo. Now Baba once more. Salva Sevilla inside. Salibur. Raillo. Takikubo. Brought down by Fede Valverde. Another free kick to Mallorca. A question of the committed by the Uruguayan. As Zinedine Zidane gives final instructions to Mariano and Graham. Graham, we're going to see young Luca Romero, I think.
I hate to tell you this. On the day that...
Tell me how many years younger than me.
On the day he was born, Sergio Ramos had made his debut for Sevilla against Deportivo La Coruña. I calculate, I think, 9 months earlier.
Salibur tries one.
Which I realise now is the gestation period for a young baby. So maybe his parents were watching Deportivo La Coruña 1, Sevilla 0, and celebrating Sergio Ramos' debut and bringing forward, Simon, this moment.
Well, Vinicius Jr., the man replaced. Good performance from him. Growing, maturing in front of our very eyes. Scored the opener, his third goal of the season.
Full respect to our sponsors, Budweiser, who named him not king, didn't think he was king of the match at the weekend against La Real. I think they gave it to Casemiro. For my personal taste, Vinicius, who's now looking like a veteran, aged 20, was man of the match away up in Anoeta. But now that Baba's been replaced by this youngster, records have been broken. Vinicius looks like a pensioner. My word, he must be talented.
Still Mallorca insisting on looking for, well, not consolation, but looking to liven up the last few minutes. Not the greatest ball, but it's won eventually by Sedlar. Takikubo. Shot from Cucho, blocked by Carvajal. Well, Graham, what can we tell you? I mean, Guillem Balaguer's spoken a lot, as I said, of Luca Romero, and he was giving us absolutely tremendous reports on the talent of the youngster. Born in 2004. It's Fede Valverde. Lovely ball out. Brahim with the cross, and in the end Asensio with a header, but the offside flag was up. Cruz with the cross, Brahim had played it off to him, and Cruz just straying offside. He turns and has a look at Toni Kroos as if to say, hey, you're supposed to return it to me. born in Durango in Mexico, young Luca Romero, but is Argentinian by nationality.
Opting to play for Argentina, and in the under 17 championship for South America, they got to the final, featuring this kid who's become the youngest to debut in Laliga, and they lost on penalties in the shootout with Brazil, with the opening scorer for Brazil on that night against young Lucas Argentina being some kid called Vinicius.
There's a chase for Potho, he won't get there. Oh, we saw Luca there.
The unfortunate...
looking very confident, looking very mobile. I imagine feeling pretty nervous too.
He's going to have to deal with, because he's opted to play for Argentina because of his ancestry, irrespective of being born in Mexico, people will reach for the Messi phrase because of how young Messi broke through, because of a shared nationality, because the blue and white striped shirt that they'll play with internationally. He has to find his way verbally and in demonstrations on the pitch as much as he's able to shake off that comparison, because however good he is, it's unhealthy.
Mariano hasn't had too many opportunities this season. Takikubo. I love the way this kid turns away from the challenges. He's brought down here though, and it's a yellow card for Toni Kroos.
Surely I'm allowed one, Rev. No, mate, no. No, you're not. Yeah, his centre, you need to be, one, immensely confident about your ability to sprint away with the ball and you're touching the ball in order to do what you admire in Taki, but you must also, as in his time, you must be unafraid of having your ankles clipped again and again and again. We comment on the referee's done well, he's booked him there. The player who's had his ankles taken will often say, well, do I want to do that 70 times a season? Sometimes the answer is no.
Pucho holding that one up against Ramos, but losing out to Valverde. Salva Sevilla leaving it for Gamez. Well, another shot. He's not too happy with himself because he missed the target, but again, kudos to Vicente Moreno and his Mallorca side.
Yeah, not just for their identity and their playing style and the way in which they brought the fight to Real Madrid tonight, but I didn't believe, given how slow he was, to recognise Taki's skills and give him his start. The fact that he's brought young Moreno on tonight, I have to admire Mallorca's trainer, because he's not said, here's some testimonial minutes, here you're playing in a match that doesn't matter, you know, a goal now and suddenly it's a sweat for Real Madrid. If they could somehow conjure up to Mallorca's point, would be absolutely golden in their battle to haul Eibar down into the third relegation place and get out themselves. So Romero's been brought in not to show sponsors, thank you, not to entertain the world. He's in on talent, and that's a brave coach that said, at your age, kid, I trust the talent, not your birth date.
And he's showing for the ball as Reina ignores him and sends it long towards Salibur. Takikubo brings it down nicely. Potho inside to Luca. Mariano and Kroos with the calling card. I love the ways that he gets his head down and runs.
How crude. Just, I like, there's a kid, I'm going to knock him over. It's just stupid.
Kubo trying to get away from Brahim. Finds Salva Sevilla. Salibur now on the right flank, combining with Potho, and bullied off that, although he's quick to get back to his feet and win the throw under pressure from Mendy. Been a fairly positive few minutes for Salibur. Thing with Mendy, finds Takikubo, dispossessed by Toni Kroos. Isco finds Carvajal. Carvajal fouls, free kick in favour of Real Madrid. We're into the last minute. Dani Rodriguez with the infringement.
Talking about fringes, young Romero's got one, hasn't he?
I guess at that age it's permitted. There's Mendy, Brahim, Bullied off the ball there by Rodriguez. Is Cucho. Looking over to his left. Still Cucho. Lays it off for Salva Sevilla, but Isco got enough of a touch. Valverde powers his way out, finds Toni Kroos. Kroos looks up, he's got options. Brahim and Asensio to his right, Isco to his left. Brahim tries the shot, just wide. And to corner. To Reds have been added. I guess if you're that close and win a corner because the keeper did get a glove to it, then you can justify having other perhaps clearer options. Kroos wanders over to take the corner. Fourth corner for Real Madrid. Brahim. Isco. Now Kroos. Isco again. Fouled by Luca. It's his first foul in Laliga Santander. What a night for the youngster.
It's remarkable, isn't it? We're watching Brahim, who was supposed to be a gem of a footballer in the youth system at Malaga, went to City, wanted more chances, said I'm off, has come to Real Madrid. He doesn't turn 21 until August, and he's more or less 5 years older than young Romero. You know, when you say it like that, it doesn't make any sense.
Kroos with a free kick, it's a good one, and Ramos got bullied off that one. The referee asking for them to wait. Problems for Rayo. Another look. Ramos probably just in an offside position. It's a slightly extravagant jump from Ramos.
It's extravagant, full stop. As much as he's a swashbuckling pirate of a footballer, and that's why he's an international brand name and a winner. 22nd minute, they're 2-0 up. He had a pinched nerve against Real Sociedad. He doesn't want to miss games. That's one of the occasions where he can afford to sit back, play where he is now, smoke a cigar, get the ball shuffling around the defence and not getting himself into situations where potentially he gets sent off, gets injured. Just ridiculous.
Toni Kroos is part of the legend of Sergio Ramos,
Good
though.
point.
And if he had a different character, it wouldn't be the Sergio Ramos we know and love.
True that.
Carvajal. Isco. Asensio.
Oh, nice.
Carvajal, neat step over, lovely cross in, and somehow it's poured away from the face of the goal. Mariano unable to take advantage.
It's there, but I think he just saved a goal. Look at the way it's definitely going to drop to the who is something of an impulse player for Zidane when he brings him on. Remember, of course, he's one of the key reasons for the head-to-head rule. He scored the second goal and the second-class goal to make sure Madrid won it.
Kroos with the corner, little flick back. Mariano takes a deflection and goes out for another corner, surely. Nope.
Certainly looked like it, didn't it?
Long clearance, it'll go all the way through to Courtois, but under pressure from Cucho, decides to head clear. Mendy. Carvajal. All over bar the shouting. Isco finds Valverde. Isco picks out Brahim, but there's the final whistle. 3 more points for Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid. The final score in the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium. Real Madrid 2, Mallorca 0. Vicente Moreno receiving the handshake of Zinedine Zidane. Sergio Ramos, the king of the match. Sergio Ramos.